The grill is shot. The chairs are held together by optimism. And what happened to the rug? Sounds like your outdoor setup is not ready for patio season. Fix it all with Wayfair. Shop Wayfair for grills, rugs, furniture, and more. With 20 million 5-star reviews, room of choice delivery, and expert setup on qualifying orders, it's never been easier to do more for less. Get 10% off your first eligible purchase. Hurry to wayfair.com or download the app now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hello all, having a good week? What's the weather like where you are? It's been horribly raining here day after day this week, although I am told that we are due some warm sunshine this weekend, which should be lovely. My dahlias definitely need some heat. Now, on this week's show, some phrases to use to encourage and motivate your team at work, intonation rules when listing things, and some tech acronyms. Let's go. Section 1. Sound like a calm, confident leader without shouting. There are two types of leaders. The ones who say, "Why is this not done?" And the ones who quietly say, "Let's take a step back and look at this." Guess which one sounds more British? If you want to motivate your team without sounding aggressive, awkward, or overly Americanized, these are the phrases you're going to need. So when you're setting direction, without barking orders, you could use, "Let's focus on." Let's focus on getting this finished by Friday. It's gentle, clear, no drama. Or you could use, The priority here is client satisfaction. So you're steering the ship. Thirdly, you could say, "What I'd like us to do is," for example, "What I'd like us to do is streamline the process." This softens the instruction. Very British. Now, if you're in need of phrases to encourage action, you could start with, "Let's push on this." So time to stop talking and start doing. Or you could say, "Shall we move this forward?" Which is collaborative, not commanding. Or perhaps you could say, "Let's aim to," for example, "Let's aim to have this ready by tomorrow." This is encouraging, but not pressurizing. Now, perhaps you need to boost some confidence in the team. So you could say, "You're on the right track. Keep going, you're nearly there." Or perhaps, "This is coming together nicely." This shows that progress is happening, even if slowly. A third phrase, "I've got every confidence in you." Very British, very reassuring. But if you're a minister, it usually signals you're going to be fired by the Prime Minister. That's a strong start. Now that phrase is acknowledging effort without overpraising. Now what about some things to say when things aren't quite right? How about, "Let's take a step back. So something's off, but I'm being polite about it." Or you could say, "We might want to rethink this." Perhaps you could say, "How can we improve this?" So you're inviting solutions here, you're not blaming. Or finally, "It's a good idea, but let's refine it." This is a classic British feedback sandwich, without obviously the sandwich. Now, what if you need some phrases to create that team energy? Let's start with, "Let's pull together on this." Let's pull together on this. Team spirit activated. Number 2, we're all working towards the same goal. Unity without sounding like a motivational poster. Number 3, let's keep the momentum going. Don't slow down now. And what about some phrases when we want to be finishing strong? We could say, "Let's get this over the line." It's the final push, you're almost there. Perhaps you could use, "We're nearly there, we're nearly there." encouragement at the critical moment. Or thirdly, let's wrap this up. Time to finish efficiently. Now, notice something. Almost everything starts with let's or we. That's not an accident. British leadership language is inclusive, indirect, calm, even when everything is on fire internally. So some quick direction on pronunciation. Let's, we've got that crisp TS consonant cluster at the end. Let's. Forward. We sort of drop that R in the middle and it's a smooth ending. Forward. Together. The TH in the middle there is quite soft. Together. Try this after me. Let's pull together and get this over the line. Your turn. Notice how pull together and all links smoothly together. Pull together and. Now if you speak like this, you don't just sound fluent, you sound like someone people actually want to work with. And if you want to master this tone, calm, confident, unmistakably British, I teach the pronunciation, rhythm and delivery inside my full course, learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Because shouting is easy, but sounding quietly in control, well, that's a skill. Section 2. How to sound British when listing things. It's all in the voice. You can know all the right words and still sound slightly off when you say a simple list. Why? Because in British English RP, lists have a very specific melody, and if you miss it, you sound a bit robotic or oddly intense. So let's fix that. Now, the golden rule of lists: when listing items, your voice should go up on each item, then come down on the final one. Think of it like building suspense, then finishing the thought. So, example 1, a simple list. I need to buy apples, bananas and bread. Can you hear that final drop? That signals I'm done, there's no more items. I need to buy apples, bananas and bread. Now what not to do, if you go flat, apples, bananas, bread, you sound bored, possibly even half asleep, or a bit like Donald Trump. And if you go down on every word, apples, bananas, bread, you sound like you're ending the sentence 3 times. So, example 2, maybe a more real-life list. We need to repaint the walls, replace the flooring, fix the windows. So notice how the energy builds slightly and then resolves at the end with windows. So why this matters? This rising then falling pattern sounds natural and confident, helps the listener follow you easily, and is very typical of an RP British accent. Without it, even perfect pronunciation can sound off. Now, a pro tip. You can add a little bit of attitude. You can play about with the pattern slightly. So you could be more excited, make more of a dramatic list, so there'll be bigger rises and a stronger final drop. Maybe you could have an annoyed list, so there'll be flatter rises and a heavier final drop. One to practice. I've got emails to send, calls to make, and a report to finish. I've got emails to send, calls to make, and a report to finish. OK? Don't rush it. Let each item breathe. And one more thing, this catches people out. If you've not finished listing, keep rising. Don't drop yet. We need chairs, tables, lights. Can you hear? You're clearly about to continue with the list. Now I want you to say this list naturally. Repeat after me. For the trip, pack clothes, chargers, toiletries and snacks. Your turn. Focus on those gentle rises, the one clear final fall, and mastering this one pattern makes your speech sound instantly more British without learning a single new word. Because sounding British isn't just about what you say, it's about how your voice moves. Learn all about it at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Section 3. How to sound British when things happen one after another. There's something very satisfying about describing things happening in order. And in British English we have lots of ways to do it. Some useful, some slightly dramatic, and some that make you sound like you've lived here your whole life. Let's line them up nicely. Of course. Firstly, the classics, your everyday go-tos. Back to back, back to back. We had meetings back to back all morning. Number 2, consecutive, consecutive. She won 3 consecutive matches. Neat, formal, slightly impressive. Number 3, in a row, in a row. He missed 5 shots in a row. Number 4, one after another, one after another. So that another, it starts with that schwa sound, another. Did you notice it ends with that schwa too? Now, if you want to sound slightly more formal or more structured, you could use in sequence, sequence, so the steps must be followed in sequence, or in turn, each person spoke in turn, very polite, orderly, very British meeting energy. Or you could use successive, successive. There were successive delays throughout the day, so things keep going wrong repeatedly. Now, when it feels like it's never ending, you might want to use on the trot, on the trot. We worked 10 days on the trot. Continuous, slightly exhausting, very British again. Or perhaps running, as in 10 days running. It's been raining for 5 days running. Will it ever stop? Probably not. Or finally, you could say on end, on end. She worked for hours on end. And finally, the this is my life now category, where you might say day in, day out, day in, day out. He practices day in, day out. It's relentless routine. Or you could use day after day, day after day. It rained day after day. Emotionally draining. Number 3, week after week, week after week. They kept delaying it week after week. And here's some slightly more colourful phrases to use because why not? Firstly is an unusual one, gavel to gavel, gavel to gavel. From start to finish, this is very courtroom drama. The trial ran gavel to gavel. Secondly, just use non-stop, non-stop. It's been non-stop all day. Thirdly, constantly, constantly. The phone was ringing constantly. And another one, relentlessly, relentlessly. The rain fell relentlessly. Now, quick pronunciation tip for these phrases. Watch your linking and your rhythm in the phrases. So back to back, that to becomes weak, to back. In a row, in a row. In a joins together, in a row. Blends smoothly. Day in, day out. Can you hear that rhythm? Day in, day out. Da-da, da-da. British English loves weak forms and it loves flow. Don't pronounce every word too strongly. So let's try this sentence. Say it after me. We had meetings back to back for 3 days running. We had meetings back to back for 3 days running. Your turn. Are you noticing how it all links together smoothly? There's no robotic pauses. Now, if you can master these, suddenly your English sounds natural, expressive, and very comfortably British. And of course, if you want to go deeper into how your voice should move, get the British Accent Bundle, learningbritishaccent.com/bundle, because in English, it's rarely just one thing after another. It's how you say it that makes the difference. Section 4. Tech acronyms. Say them like a Brit without sounding robotic. Tech English is full of acronyms, and if you pronounce them like words instead of letters, things can get confusing. I opened a PDF file. Well, no you didn't, but we'll get to that later. The good news, spelling out letters is brilliant pronunciation practice, and it helps you sound clear and very natural in British English. So let's plug you in. Why acronyms are your secret weapon? So when you say PDF or USB or GPS, you're practicing clear consonants, which are very important in RP, rhythm and spacing, and you're not swallowing sounds. In other words, perfect accent training disguised as tech talk. So let's do some everyday essentials. Let's go back to that PDF. It's not PDF, we say PDF, Portable Document Format. I'll send it as a PDF. USB or USB-C. Notice it is U and not A. Just plug it into the USB port. Wi-Fi. Here we are actually saying these as small little words. Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. The Wi-Fi is a bit slow today. URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Can you send me the URL? It's not a hard R sound, remember, URL. Now, phones and everyday life, you might hear and use SIM, Subscriber Identity Module, SIM, you need a new SIM card, or SMS, Short Message Service, I'll send you an SMS. Perhaps PIN, Personal Identification Number. Did you notice we didn't say PIN, it's PIN. It's one word, which is the same as SIM. So learn these off by heart. SIM is a word, SMS is the letters, PIN is a word. Don't mix them up. Now, the tech that follows you everywhere, we've got GPS, Global Positioning System, GPS. Use GPS to find it. We've got QR code, which is a quick response code. Scan the QR code. Q as in queue up. QR code. Then we have AI or AGI. AI is evolving quickly. AGI is still theoretical. And we have LLM. LLM, Large Language Model. LLMs can generate text. UI is User Interface, UI. The UI is very clean. IoT is the Internet of Things, IoT. IoT devices are everywhere. Now that middle sound is O, like go. Next we've got LED, LED, LCD, LCD, HDMI, HDMI, connect it with an HDMI cable. So it's H, not H, in RP. And we've got slightly futuristic ones, AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, and NFTs, that's quite an old one now. He bought an NFT. Say each letter clearly, not rushed and not blurred. Use weak rhythm between the letters, USB. It's smooth and it's even flow. And watch for those British vowel sounds. The O in IoT is not the flat O, as in go. And R's can be soft, URL. So don't overpronounce. It should sound natural, not like you're reading the alphabet under pressure. One sentence to copy. I'll send you the PDF and the URL via SMS. I'll send you the PDF and the URL via SMS. Your turn. Keep it smooth, evenly spaced and calm. Mastering acronyms is a small thing, but it makes your English sound sharper, clearer and much more professional. And don't forget, you can get more pronunciation help at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. And there we go. That brings us to the end of another show. If you are enjoying the podcast and would like to see it continue, please do consider making a donation or purchasing the bundle. I know I keep going on about it and it is really, really boring, but advertising revenue just isn't what it was, and it comes nowhere near covering the costs of the show. Of course, this might be a situation that I might need to accept that with AI now, we just don't need British accent podcasts or courses or websites. It's sad, but maybe that's just the reality. But there we go. Anyway, thanks again for listening. All the links are in the show notes. Bye for now.